Alright, and we are recording. Excuse me. So it's December 15, and I've been asked to do a video showing somebody was interested in my snake skins, and so we're going to make a video showing, or at least, talking a little bit, just a little bit, about the snake skins that I have. I have a python snake skin. I have one that's like a greeny, really beautiful, shiny. And I also have snake babies, like the shell. Okay, and so I have a little friend here who's also going to be present with us. This is my little stuffed owl that I've had with me since 2012. This snowy owl has kept me safe, as funny as that sounds, as weird as that sounds, for many years, and has kept me from harm and has really cuddled with me, because I sleep with this guy every day, and I cuddle because I'm like a 12-year-old sometimes, and I gotta go back to my childhood on a regular basis because I deal with a lot of messed up stuff on a regular basis. And if you hear that child in the background, there you have it. That's a sign right there. Okay, so give me 2 minutes. I'm just going to take a seat. Alright, so I've done something a little different with my hair because I get bored so quickly. It's good to change some things up on a regular basis. I want to talk a little bit about my owl. My owl's name is Spells, and I didn't name it. It came with that name, Spells. It's literally written right here on its tag. It's got the name Spells, and again, it's Snowy Owl, which is my power totem. And if you look up snowy owls, it's a little limited because the most thing that you'll find is about owls in general and how they see through illusions and they get right to the heart of the matter. They cut through the illusions and delusions and they see right through people's souls. Owl chakras, or their eyes, or their ears, are literally placed right above their brows, okay? So when you see them do like that 180 or that 360 with their head, just that their necks are really flexible and they're not actually turning their entire head. It's just an illusion. It's an appearance, okay? They're very tricky animals, okay? They're observers. They love to listen. They don't get tricked into anything, okay? Because their fly is very silent. So they'll come at you when you least expect it, and what that metaphorically symbolizes is they know more about you than you know about yourself. So, and because of that, of course, owls are very known to be totems of shamans, witches, and I believe if it's not in Europe, they have been, like, a lot of people try to have them hunted down and exterminate them because of the superstitions about them, that they bring death, or they're messengers of death. But again, let's have this perched up right here. I have an owl. I have a baby owl right here. I have a huge owl on my thigh, and the spirit of owl is with me everywhere. So in 2012, okay, for most of you that you know, I was experiencing ascension. Now, the entire process didn't take until 2013 to fulfill, because I've mentioned before, my mother had a stroke. I was going through a lot. I was being attacked, which didn't stop me, but it was more so about my mom, because my mom literally almost died, and I just said to myself, how can I ascend if my mother is gonna die. You know what I mean? So was I really playing with fate? Was I really playing with death? You can say so. You know? Did I have to pay a price for that? Yes and no. Because I did extend it, right? So I was going up really high in these dimensions, and then all of a sudden I pulled myself down. So I had to go back up and revisit these so-called demons and entities that love to, you know, really play with you. So a lot of humanity right now, a lot of people, a lot of humans, they're talking about consciousness and how to ascend. But you have to really truly understand this is not an entertainment thing. Ascension is not, when I mean entertainment, what I'm trying to say is ascension takes a lot of hard work, and a lot of times people are not quite up for the hard work. They're not up for the pain that involves ascension, and they're not up for letting go of the past and the people and the places and the things that no longer serve you. It's really, really hard work, like I said, okay? It takes a lot of self-awareness, and a lot of times I've heard people, you know, they talk about, well, I work with the ancestors and I'm going through ascension. Sure, yes and no. Because when you work with your ancestors, a lot of times you're working with the past. So unless you're working with the past to close an obstacle or a blockage that's preventing you from moving forward in whether it's ascension or your purpose or growing or evolution as a whole, for your entire ancestry, for you, for the future, for your whoever it is that you're supposed to meet with on your path, relationships, whatever, then I highly suggest you actually don't work with your ancestors. One, you don't know who your ancestor is. You don't know what's happened 20,000 years ago. It's complicated. It's very, very complicated. Very, very, very complicated. And when it comes to me, myself, again, I've mentioned many times, a long time ago, there was Hebrew in my ancestry, the original Hebrew. I've got Phoenician, I've got Indian, I've got Egyptian, but the most dominant is the Armenian, okay? But I'm not talking about Armenia today, I'm talking about the Anatolian Western Armenians, okay? So, getting back to this. If you pay attention to its eyes, doesn't it look like mine? That's hilarious, because, I've mentioned in one of the other videos, people are always like, people with owl as their, like, power animal or totem. I'm actually liking my hair like this. I look like a little girl. They say that people with owl totems have really large eyes, and, like, they pierce through people, like, So a lot of times, I'll be around someone, and they're like, stop it, you're looking right through my soul, like, your eyes are, like, observing me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't realize I'm doing it, don't take it, like, serious, don't get offended, But anyways, so the owl eyes, you see how the pupil is freaking huge? My eyes do that too, and a lot of times, it's just doing it to protect itself, because my real eye color, especially under the sun, because my pupil shoots really small, is actually gray. So my real eye color is gray. A lot of times it looks blue, but it's actually gray. When I was little, it was like dark. Like ocean blue, really, really, really dark ocean blue. And then when I turned about 10 to 12, when I was around 10 to 12 years old, it became a little lighter, like, it lightened. And then now I have like a little, really thin yellow line. When my pupil shoots really small, or when it goes back in, you can see the yellow line. And sometimes there's an illusion that my eyes look green. So the most similar of my eye color is the stone labradorite. And labradorite is the stone of the mystics. And there's a saying, and it's the most truthful thing that I've ever experienced in my life, is the eyes are the soul, or the eyes are the window to the soul. You can cheat people with your smile, you can cheat people with your body language, your facial reactions, your words, sometimes even your actions, but your eyes will never cheat, because it's that way, So, in 2012, I was disowned by my family, even though I protected them. Disowned by my friends. Going through hell. And everybody's like, oh my god, you look amazing, you're glowing, you know, where'd you go? It's like you went on vacation for 10 years and you came back rejuvenated. And it was just the frequencies I was experiencing. There was literally one day I was awake for 48 hours and I literally felt my body float on my bed and like a vortex was protecting me, okay? I was going through many different lifetimes at once and I had to close them because there was open wounds in my DNA, in my double helix, that there was no way to ascend, to go through full ascension. Because a lot of times people will believe they're going through ascension or they're fully ascended because you experience little subtle movements that'll bring you up to ascension. But what it is you're experiencing, a lot of times most people, they can't, because we've gone through so much shit in the past. Like, you know, a lot of people that I was meeting during the process were people that were knights in past lives, and they raped women and children, and they can't move forward in their life purpose. They've tried, they can't do it. And because they're not willing to pay it off, or they're not willing to see it for what it, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to it. So, unless you're really willing to work extremely hard to close that up, and it's complicated because there's no book for this. There's no one to tell you exactly how you're going to do it, especially with your own ancestry, with what it's happened in your life. So I had to go through that and to close it, literally, and now it's tied. The back is tied. Nothing's getting in. So that it never affects anybody in my ancestry again, and that I'm able to move forward. And my throat. And such of that nature. So if you're experiencing something like that during your process, like I said, I had to go back and take care of my mom, because I'm somebody that is here to heal my family, heal the future for the kids, and you know what I mean? So, anyways, so in 2012, I had an owl on top of, there's a window, not literally behind my bed, but like on the left corner, a little on the other side. And every morning around 7 o'clock-ish, this owl would wake me up. Every morning for a good 2 years, Every morning all I'd hear was whoo, whoo, and it would go on and on and on and on until I woke up. And so I would leave, I'd get out, and it would still go, start hooting, and then, you know, there's no noise on my way back, and then all of a sudden I would come closer to my front door or my house, like the end of the street, and this owl would start hooting again. It's like it's welcoming me back. But it never showed itself. I mean, there was points in time where I was like, come on, it's been 2 years, show yourself to me. And I'd go like in the corner and looking for it, and I hear it hooting, but it's not showing itself. So some people said, you know, that's your soulmates, which in reality, you have a lot of soulmates. You know, they could be your sister, brother, they can be someone who's passed on, somebody that you're working with in the spirit realm, you know. But a lot of people said that was my father, the spirit of my dad, because my dad died in 2010, and he died a little too early because he didn't get to fulfill what it is that his contract was all about with me. We had something to fulfill together, and unfortunately, he died short, and his spirit would not move. He would not ascend or descend. He just stayed on this earth, and he stayed with me, and he was being really persistent with me. The amount of paranormal stuff that was happening is unbelievable when my dad died. Doors were shutting and opening. My mom witnessed some stuff. She was freaking out. My sister witnessed some stuff. She was freaking out. But he was following me the most because he loved me a lot. He would always say, "You're my favorite. I wanted you." Every time my parents would argue, he'd be like, "You're my favorite. Don't you ever forget that." So, anyways, so the owl never left me, and then I met this guy, and I still sleep with him at night. He's like my favorite. He's so cute. But continue showing my snakes, because that's what this video is about. So I have framed here, I don't want to take it out because I cherish this so much. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see the amount of beauty and the shine in the snake skin. Like I said, it's green. It's stunning, okay? It's so shiny and beautiful, and I framed it. So this is the green snake, and it's like about, I think it's like 30 something or 40 inches long, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, to be honest with you. Okay, and this is framed because I love snakeskin. I put this near my bed. Literally, it's near my bed. It's placed next to my dad's rock. I have a rock for my dad, and it's got like a hanging little tree of life type of thing, and it says something about, "Dad, you are the rock of my family," or something like that. And, yeah, that's that. I've got, put this in here. I should probably put it in a little, this one I'll take out. So this one is, I believe, 20 inches, 21. Okay, and this is, darker skinned. No, I dropped it. I am sorry. For all due respect, I am sorry. So, oh, it looks like the number 8. I just kissed it. So, there's the darker. If I'm not mistaken, this is a python. But it does look like the number 8. I'm trying to show it without it dropping. It does look like I should be one of those showgirls, like The Price is Right. Okay, yeah, having some snake skin. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is the python, and the energy is amazing on all of them, to be honest with you. Like, when I first got to touch the green one, it's so magical, it's so protective, and then this one, the sensation is warm. It's a little heavier, which involves, you know, a lot of things that I've accomplished, involving like tribal work and shamanism and stuff like that. If you want to call it ancestral work, if you want to call it closing the wounds, if you want to call it whatever it is that you want to call it, okay? Because that can give you definitions and you may not even know what the heck I'm talking about. But its energy is so, ugh. Okay, so we're going to put that away. And then I showed you guys the other little one that I got in the red pouch, remember? Yeah, the one that my dragon, my Naga, is keeping safe. This one I got in a little plastic. And this one is completely different. But it's just a little piece of it. And this one, to me, it feels the lightest. And when I say that, I don't really mean, like, it's kind of like having a friend, if I explain it to you. Every friend, I don't want to get into races because I don't really believe that, I just said something wrong, I shouldn't have said that, but let's say you have friends. They all have different unique personalities, okay? They're humans. Let's say humans, not race, okay? They're humans, but they all got their own different personality. They're the same species, which is human. But they all got their own different personality. They all got their own different skills and abilities, and that's what this is like too. And when I say different energies and stuff like that, I can still feel the python energy. But, yeah. And then we've got the little babies. Put that away there. So, and then we've got the little babies. And you're like, probably thinking, wow, this girl's a freak. Like, she's got freaking butterflies, dragonflies, moths, which my moth is like poisonous. I've got beetles, scorpions, spiders. In time, I will show them. I've got rams. What else do I have? I've got some other stuff, but I don't want to say everything. You know? So, there's about 10 of them in here. And a few of them literally have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 right here. I have 10 overall. But a few of them literally have, like, unborns in the egg. And I just connect with their spirit, you know? I talk to spirits. I talk to animals. I talk to, animals are, their spirit are still always connected to their dead body. So, you know. Some of them still have, like, the little babies in here. I didn't kill them. I don't kill them. Just something that probably went off, or I don't kill. I can, but yeah, so that's my little, and I would never put them for sale, these guys, because they're mine. They're mine. Although, I may have a collection, like a big collection. I may put them up for sale, or I may send them out to people that are with me on my path as a protective tribal brotherhood type of thing. To me, money isn't important. It's a necessity. It's something that allows you to go by. I work with it. But so I don't have this thing where money is an issue for me. Like, people have a sickness, an obsession that money is everything. And that's why, to them, money is the root of all problems, you know? I find that when I have the mentality of, you know, it'll come, I'm willing to work through this or work through that, I find that I attract much more money my way. So, what I'm trying to get at is I have a very open mind when it comes to gifts, gifting, and that's why a lot of times I purchase crystals and then I'll plant them in the earth, or I'll give them away to people, because money is energy, crystals is energy, everything is energy. So when you give something, it returns to you. And I'm not saying, well, with a good cause, you know, for example, when I mentioned that teenager, that little girl, she was about 12 years old anyways, when I gave the smoky quartz to, and the, my favorite black obsidian sphere. That was my favorite. And I gave that to her, freely, like, without expecting anything in return. Like, she even offered me whatever money that she had, and I was like, I want you to have this. Because, you know, she was saying how her parents won't buy them for her and all this stuff, and I just felt really thankful for her, because when I was little, I loved crystals, and nobody would get them for me when I was little. But, you know, I think I was in grade 1 or grade 3. I had grade 1. I had a school project, and I chose to talk about crystals, and I got up there on stage, and I ended it with, when I grow up, I'm going to work with crystals for humanitarian causes. And so I have, right? And crystals are of this earth. We are of this earth. Our physical body is of this earth. Maybe our spirit and our soul is not, but our physical is. And so we touch, we feel, we have intentions, and if I'm making any sense to you, you know, so it is what it is in terms of giving and receiving, and that's why I'm not very infatuated with money. I respect it. I respect money, but I'm not infatuated or obsessed with it. So I will give things because I'm very open to receive things as well. Okay, so that's that with my snake skins, and what I do with them is what I do with them, okay? I'm not going to get into detail with what I do with this, what I work with it with, what I do in terms of magic. That's not important. That's for me to know. Everybody else, it's different with everyone. You have your own style of magic. I have my own style of magic, and that's what makes it so unique, because everybody does their own thing. Do I have anything else to talk about? I think that's it for now. I have a reading coming up, so you can look forward to that. And I always mention that, especially during this time, which is, we're in the middle of December 15, we're in the middle of December. Still hasn't snowed here this year, but I'm making, my cartomancy readings public, because I feel for those who can't afford, any type of guidance during this time of year, they can't even afford food on their table, or, pay their rent, or have a roof on their head. So I'm making these videos public, so that they can have something, okay? So that they can have 2 minutes of guidance, 10 minutes of guidance, anything that ring a bells with them. Then I'm glad that you can take that message and make it work for you and move forward into the year of 2016, okay? So I wish everybody, for everyone, the collective, on this planet, to move forward with our lives, okay? I'm not some sort of person who's living in a delusional mind frame that, okay, it's not going to happen, that everybody, because what goes up must come down. Everybody's experiences, everybody's path is different, everybody's circumstances are different. Some people have it really fucking hard, okay? Really, really fucking hard. And so it's extremely difficult for them to even be able to do what we're even doing, okay? Look, if we can afford a camera to record this, I have all this stuff here. If we can afford this and not be grateful for all this, there's people on the other side of this planet. There's people here in Canada that are so hungry. They're put in these fucked up situations because they cannot afford anything. So, we gotta practice the art of gratitude, okay? And especially if you're doing magic, that is a very important, potent potion, magical potion that really helps you and heightens your abilities. Practicing the art of gratitude. I'm not telling you to give your gifts away. I'm not telling you that you got to do what I've done. Or what I do here and there, which is give your crystals away, give your magical properties away and stuff like that. Because when I was going through homelessness, when I was going through ascension, I gave thousands of dollars worth of really expensive and beautiful artwork. Clothes, crystals, picture frames, statues, the amount of thousands of, I could have sold that and maybe had whatever it is that but I chose to give them to children and to families and women that, could use them, because, and I'm talking big amounts, like over 40 bags of huge garbage bags, okay? Put them in garbage bags because boxes weren't able to fill them. I didn't go in the garbage, it was sent there and whatnot. But I just said to myself, if I can do this and not be attached to this physical substances, the physicality of this life, then that really means I can go through ascension. Then that really means I can close the wounds of my ancestors. Then that really means this. And again, when you put something out, it returns to you. But like I said, I'm not saying that you should be doing this. I'm not saying you have to be like me. You have to do not at all. What I'm just trying to get at and really, really say is, and a lot of times I didn't tell people because I was like, I didn't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I didn't want people to be like, who does she think she is? She's putting herself up this pedestal, so I have to do what she's doing. Not at all. But that's just the way I was feeling. That's what I wanted to do, and so I did it. And I still do it here and there, and that's just the way I am. That's just the way I work. So, yeah, I do buy and sell, but I also give away freely. So that's my style. But what I do suggest, especially this time of year, is to practice the art of gratitude so that you really are welcoming new energies for 2016, and you really will be able to pinpoint and see what's coming in that's going to be able to help you out in 2016, and that comes in disguise as people, places, energies, and even somebody who's walking down a path with you for 2 seconds will be able to give you something large. Okay? So, I love you. Thank you for watching. If you're new to my channel, thank you for being here. And thanks for your everything else, okay? So, we will have the reading up shortly. Ciao.